Hey, it's Tara. So have you ever known somebody so well, or you thought you know them so well, or you've spent enough time with them that you start finishing each other's sentences, or you start getting impressions or vibes about a person? So often those experiences will say, oh, we've spent so much time together, we know each other so well. And that's true. But where it's true is that where you know each other really isn't in necessarily your memory or your frontal lobes, the part of your brain that is left brain, which is thinking and executive control and planning, making meaning of. We make meaning of those situations with our frontal lobes, but where we actually attune to another person and their nervous system, where we get that sense of being in flow with them, getting that empathy with them, or feeling actually empathic with them, where you get a mind meld with somebody, that's all right brain activity. That's right front orbital cortex. And that's where the mother will attach and attune to the baby through that center of the brain. That process of attunement is really part of the whole attachment model of parenting. But what we forget is that we are constantly attuning to people's nervous systems all through our lives every day. We have these mirror neurons that will kind of mirror or pick up energy or postures, even mannerisms of another person. It's very unconscious. So this is what we do in SRT, which is this right-brained approach. We attune as therapists to our clients. We have to be really grounded. We have to have done all of our work. All the really good therapists will have their own therapist, so that we are constantly making sure we have an empty enough container to do this work, to hold this space with our clients, so that we're not getting overwhelmed. And that we're able to keep our clients from getting overwhelmed. So it's different from talk therapy, where we're not telling stories start to finish. You can't heal trauma by telling the story start to finish and putting it on repeat. In fact, you're firing up and wiring up the neural pathways that are already there from the time of an overwhelm or a trauma or a negative experience in your life, and you're making it wired harder and deeper in the brain. What we are focused on is right brain connection to help provide a grounded nervous system for our clients to mirror off of us. So if I'm a healthy, grounded nervous system, my clients, as we attune to each other, are able to pick up my state. And in that state, I'm able to guide the process, not through talking and telling stories in a linear way, but in breaking up the content and keeping things in a very non-overwhelming, grounded way of doing work. And in that, I get impressions about people, I see the movies of their lives, I get the words that they're searching for before they say it. I get that sense of being in flow with them, even though I haven't spent a lot of time with them or I don't really know them. I'm just paying attention, right brain to right brain, attuning to their nervous system and their autonomic nervous system, and looking for cues, nonverbal cues in communication, including I can see when their breath has changed. I can see when there's tension in their body. I can see when they start to fidget or start to get agitated, or their eyes start to dart back and forth. And then I'm going to stop the process. And then I'm going to help them ground down and regulate. And I'm going to teach their nervous system how to breathe and expand by doing this throughout the whole session. But the beauty of this work is, although some people think I'm kind of in their head, or there's a mind meld or psychic abilities, there's really not. It's just really being attuned and being aware of the impressions that I'm getting from their unconscious nervous system communicating to mine, and it's almost always right. So that connecting and that connection, it builds such a stronger relationship than just sitting across from each other talking in left-brained, logical, linear fashion. In fact, my clients often feel really seen, really heard, really understood, but understood and seen and heard like I get them, without having to tell me 40 years of their life history, without having to relive anything traumatic. We work with trauma by going through the event in a different way. We don't go start to finish. We kind of go in reverse, and we break it up in a very strategic, surgical way to help renegotiate the trauma and lay it down differently in the memory. So regulating the nervous system is all about right brain to right brain, unconscious, bringing unconscious patterns to awareness, to consciousness. All of the talk therapy and cognitive behavioral tools and skills and solution-focused modalities can do great work after the nervous system is regulated. We want to regulate first, because then sometimes you can just change the things that are undesirable on your own, and it's easy because you're not stuck in these old unconscious patterns. And either way, making those changes is easier after you've had a regulated nervous system. It's not so much work. This makes therapy really a modern approach to it. It's using the whole brain, and it makes it easier for clients to see progress and feel like they're in control of the changes that are happening in their lives. So this is why it's different. It's right brain to right brain. It's the coolest experience for me to really connect with people on a level that just doesn't happen in the same way with other approaches, with other left brain focus. And for me, makes this really something sacred because of how close we can get in that connection through the right brain attunement process. So that's how it's a little bit different. That's how it's amazing. Also, it allows me to do my job in a much more effective way and really celebrate those wins and the growth of person and the creation of new neural pathways in their brains, the actual changing of their brains for their best life ever. I get to experience that with them and celebrate that with them in a way different way because we're using all parts of the brain. So I would encourage you to start paying attention to other people's energy, to their nonverbal communication, noticing when they start to shift in some of their nonverbal ways, some of their nervous system ways, like their breath or tension or how fast they speak or their eye contact. Start noticing, start picking up on those around you and how it impacts you. Notice how you feel when you leave people. Start attuning to people and being aware of how you are, because it can really impact the health of your relationships and how you feel in yourself, to make sure that you're scanning and aware of how you're attuning to other people also. So check it out. You'll find some cool things out about yourself, but other people also. And until next time, I hope you're well.